2 years and 8 months, they were delivering 3 times a week to the houses of Speaker Martin Romualdez. They were delivering to Aguado, to Forbes, at dun sa mga lugar identified as the houses of Speaker Romualdez, including the townhomes. Tapos nandyan si Bongbong Marcos. Nandyan si Sandro Marcos. So ito yung mga critical names that were mentioned in the affidavit. And up to now, that is the narrative of the government. Saldico is the mastermind of the corruption in the Philippines. Siya yung nagnakaw, siya yung head ng flood control scandal, siya yung gumawa ng pera sa basura. Siya yung pinuno o mastermind ng lahat ng to. And ito ngayon yung mga tao niya. Yung mga tao niya are saying, we delivered to this person, we saw and we witnessed this person getting money. And I think that's precisely the point. Walang politika to, walang narrative, walang script. They are talking about what they saw.
Ang tanong ngayon, teka lang, sino ba talaga? Anong punto nito? So,
No,
Mike,
Karen,
what is the point? What is the point?
Yeah. I think, Karen, that is precisely the point. The Marines have no malice in coming out with what they're saying. Number one, I heard the report that when Boying Rimula came out, sabi niya, panahon niya ni Lord Velasco, panahon niya ni President Duterte, and I'm happy that he admitted the truth to the deliveries. I think that's the main point. In terms of the resources, was handled by Saldico and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Sila yung main resource pinanggagalingan ng pondo ng mga operation nila. Ano pang ginawa nilang operation? Di ba ang unang lang ginawang operation was the impeachment of Sara Duterte?
Happy Tuesday, guys! Except sa mga corrupt na government official sa Pilipinas. So today, pag-uusapan natin ang naging interview ni Mike Defensor kay Karen Davila. Ito mapapa-make it make sense ka talaga. Paano nangyayari na may mga testigo na nagsasalita pero ang iniimbestigahan sila pa? Welcome back to my channel.
Unang-una, linawin na natin talaga, once and for all. Ano ba ang papel ninyo dito sa paglabas ng 18 Marines? Every single step of the way, what was your role?
Well, Karen, if you recall, when Sergeant Contessa came out, there were already talks about other former soldiers who worked with him to come out also and to talk about the issues of the deliveries, yung mga maleta delivery. And during that time, there were a lot of retired soldiers reaching out to them, to the retired officials also part of their group. Maraming nangyayari doon. And then eventually, Attorney Baligod, sometime, if I'm not mistaken, December, was talking to me about it. Sabi niya, nakakausap ko and we are already discussing. Sometime January again, binabanggit niya, nag-uusap sila.
But why would Attorney Baligod reach out to you? What is your relationship with Attorney Baligod?
Well, he knew that I was with Gutesa and that eventually, sabi niya sa akin, yung mga kasama lalabas, nakakausap ko na. So ang sabi ko, okay, and si Attorney Baligod kasi Vanguard yan UP Vanguard. So alam naman natin, in UP, yung mga Vanguard, they're connected with many military officials. So I knew that, he had a strong connection with them. And so sometime, I think, a week before that, sabi niya, ito na, meron na kaming ginawa na may mga draft na ginagawa na sila about the affidavit. Eventually, they said we will be coming out. I think it was also because marami nang na-inform or may intel reports na that there are soldiers coming out and they said, they were forced to come out that Tuesday. And sabi ko, sige, I'll help kung ano man matutulong ko. I was helping before that and I was helping during the press conference.
Sa mga hindi nakakaalam kung ano ang UP Vanguard, sila po yung guard sa joke. Kidding aside, the UP Vanguard is actually a military-oriented fraternity from the University of the Philippines, and it's composed mostly of ROTC cadets and future officers. So in short, these are disciplined, trained individuals, hindi kung sino-sino lang. And again, let's be clear. Malaki ang role ni Mike Defensor dito sa paglabas ng 18 ex-Marines. And I honestly think nagkaroon sila ng lakas ng loob magsalita because someone backed them up. And that matters.
Did you read the affidavits before you helped them out? Because you kept saying, even when I believe you went personally to the NBI. Tama, no?
Yes.
Did you go?
Yes.
You did
Yes.
say you did not take part in crafting the affidavits. Did you read the affidavits?
It was just one affidavit that I saw which eventually came out. Ito yung sinasabi ni Ombudsman Boying Rimulya, nakita ko naman. In fact, nakita ko to, the signed affidavit the day before it was going to come out. The afternoon before it was going to come out, I didn't have a copy. I saw the affidavit and then nakuha ko lang yung copy after the press conference.
So is it right to say, Mike, that you actually assisted, no? Kasi ang sinabi mo, you helped with transportation, that you
Yes.
assisted the 18 itong former ex-Marines without you really knowing who they are. You did not vet
correct.
them at all. Kasi ang delikado rin dito, your name is involved, but did you do some kind of vetting process?
If
Saan
you recall-
nanggaling ang mga ito? Bakit sila lumabas? Sinong nagpalabas sa kanila? Who is behind them? I mean, I can't imagine just, former Marines just deciding to come out on their own without anybody of some influence at least speaking with them after what happened to Orly Guteza.
Yes.
What happened to Orly Guteza doesn't inspire anyone to come out. Did you do
Exactly.
some kind of process?
Nakakaumay na, honestly. We are literally witnessing a real-time corruption sa Pilipinas. They're lying straight to our faces. Naalala niyo si Guteza, right? It was all over the news. Lumabas siya. He tried to be brave. But then, suddenly, nawala. Bigla siyang tumahimik and bumaliktad. And I'll be real honest with you. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. Hindi natin alam kung anong nangyari sa kanya, right? Pwede siyang tinakot. Pwede siyang pressure. Pwedeng nakareceive siya ng maraming death threats, including his family. So no, we cannot fully judge his decisions.
Yes. Well, of course, Karen, first and foremost is Attorney Levi Baligod. He was involved with the Lapoles case. Kilala ko yung background niya. And as I've said, Vanguard siya. Brad siya ng tatay ko, who is also UP Vanguard. And then after that, I cannot name the names, but there were retired officials involved.
So meron. Oo.
Meron, may mga former retired officials involved and they were discussing about it. And prior to coming out, I met with the two who Sergeant Gutesa spoke with. Marine officials who I think served at some point with some of them at kinikilala nila. And sila yung, I would think, sila yung naging conduit with Attorney Levi Baligod. And also si Attorney Levi Baligod has been closely working with these officials in the past.
Okay, because what got very confusing as everybody watched that press conference, number one is the 18 ex-Marines actually, they hit on everybody. It was
Correct.
nobody understood anymore what was the point of the expose, right? So you had from former Speaker Martin Romualdez to Laila De Lima to now during Duterte's time to Speaker Lord Alan Velasco to Representative Jervy Luistro. So ang tanong ngayon, teka lang, sino ba talaga? Anong punto nito? So,
No,
Mike,
Karen.
what is the point? What is the point?
Yeah. I think, Karen, that is precisely the point. The Marines have no malice in coming out with what they're saying. Number one, I heard the report that when Boying Rimulya came out, sabi niya, panahon niya ni Lord Velasco, panahon niya ni President Duterte, and I'm happy that he admitted the truth to the deliveries. I think that's the main point. As to whether it would hit Lord Velasco, as to whether it would hit the others. I cannot anymore determine that. Ang problema nga, Karen, many people would call me and say, bakit ako nadamay dyan? Bakit ako nasama dyan? Inosente ang sinabi ng mga sundalo. They were talking about what they witnessed. They're talking about what they see. And Karen, if you recall, ang unang sinasabi ng gobyerno,
Exactly. These 18 ex-Marines are eyewitnesses. Sinasabi lang nila kung ano ang nakita nila. And honestly, I don't see any personal agenda. Wala akong nakikitang motibo nila. Wala silang mag-gain dito. They gain nothing. But they risk everything. Their safety. And if you watched our previous episode about Boying Remulla, knowing na nangyayari pa to during the time of Velasco, Lord Velasco, that means matagal na nila nitong alam. So the real question is, bakit walang umaksyon? Bakit wala silang ginawa? And let's not pretend, wag tayong magkunwari dahil alam ng ombudsman ang nangyayari. Trust me. But they chose to stay quiet. Why? Because if the people in power actually wanted justice, they would have acted already. No questions. Hindi sila makikipag-argue sa witnesses. Hindi sila magtatanim ng doubt.
and up to now, that is the narrative of the government, Saldico is the mastermind of the corruption in the Philippines. Siya yung nagnakaw, siya yung head ng flood control scandal, siya yung gumawa ng pera sa basura. Siya yung pinuno o mastermind ng lahat ng to. And ito ngayon yung mga tao niya. Yung mga tao niya are saying, we delivered to this person, we saw and we witnessed this person getting money. And I think that's precisely the point. Walang politika to, walang narrative, walang script. They are talking about what they saw. As to how the ombudsman will now determine, ano ba yan, saan ba yan galing? Ang problema ka rin, sinasabi ko sabi nila Saldico yung boss. Pero nung nagsalita yung mga tao na mga kasama niya na nagdi-deliver ng pera, all of a sudden discredit. So I don't anymore know, para bang ang nangyayari ngayon, yung Pilipino, yung sambayan na nakikinig, nanonood, parang, nga no, tao sila ni Saldi, and yet you do not want to investigate them. And yet you do not want to accept what they are saying. Ayaw nyo mang imbestigan sa Blue Ribbon Committee, ginugulo na kayo ng NBI, tapos wala pa magkaso para ng abogado yung ombudsman at NBI doon sa posisyon na pinipresenta ng mga sundalo.
Kasi ang totoo, pinoprotektahan nila ang mga opisyal. Yun po ang totoo. Imagine this. Lumabas na po ang mga tao ni Zaldico. May statement na mismo. And instead na imbestigahan, dinidiscredit pa sila. Interesting. Yun ang masasabi ko.
Who should the government investigate, considering that they've alleged that there are so many government officials who allegedly received money, and not all of them are exactly in the flood control scandal. You get me? Kumbaga, hindi na siya pinpointed into one specific crime.
Yeah, well, because I think precisely, Karen, what happened in Congress was that they manipulated the budget, inaayos nila yung budget, and organized, from the program allocation to the determination of each district, kung ano man yung nangyari dyan sa budget. Tapos may mga delivery. Now, I agree with you, maaaring yung iba dito is not really exactly from flood control scandals. I do not know where it's coming from. But that has to be determined by the Ombudsman and the NBI. Now, if I may talk about focusing on the issues. Number one, there is now an ongoing impeachment case. Si Congresswoman Luistro is included in the list of those given money, including some members of the House Justice Committee. I think it's only fair na tingnan itong mga taong to. Because di ba, while it is not yet the court, kahit yung fiscal o yung prosecutor, you can ask for a change of a prosecutor. Because alam mong tainted, because alam mong may nangyari na in the past, and they were given money to to do or to act on a certain agenda, like impeaching the vice president, which is happening now again. Pangalawa, ano ba yung delivery dito na sinasabing malalaki? Number one is the ICC. They have to look into that if they are really serious about the ICC question, because it's a major part of the affidavit submitted by the soldiers. Number three, sorry, yung delivery kay Speaker Martin Romualdez. Because they are already saying that almost 3 times a week for almost two years and 8 months, they were delivering 3 times a week to the houses of Speaker Martin Romualdez. They were delivering to Aguado, to Forbes, at dun sa mga lugar identified as the houses of Speaker Romualdez, including the townhomes. Tapos nandyan si Bongbong Marcos. Nandyan si Sandro Marcos. So ito yung mga critical names that were mentioned in the affidavit, including sila Jojo Cadiz na part of that investigation, if they are really serious about what they want to achieve.
Oops! And by the way, these people are all connected. Alam natin ng lahat. Let's not act clueless. Wag po tayo magmaang-maangan. You know the history of Romualdez and Marcoses, right? So honestly, I'm not even surprised. Same names, same circles, same system.
In the supposed corruption that's happening in the country. Kasi ito yung malalaking pangalan, and ang sinasabi nila, bakit isang buo? Pag tinignan mo yung affidavit, sinasabi naman na ako kasama si ganito, si ganyan, only about 3 or 4 of them, kami nag-deliver kay ganito. Ako naman kasama si ganito, kami nag-deliver kay ganito. And you know, Karen, if the ombudsman, really wants to establish yung corruption about this, the crime, or the NBI would like to establish the crime, kahit naman sulat lang they can do motu proprio investigation and look at the allegations. Tingnan nila talaga yung krimen. Pangalawa, very critical yung sinasabi ni Saldico. Kasi ang hirap nung sinasabi nila na, kunyari, sinabi, yung mga sundalo, wala naman sinabing crime. Totoo. Delivery ng pera ang sinabi ng sundalo. Pero kung sinasabi niyo si Saldico yung head ng crime, siya yung mastermind, then we have to put it together. It may not happen now, Karen. I do not know if we can achieve this now. But I'm very, very sure that in the future, we will be able to establish the truth and the evidence, the facts about the corruption that we are seeing now in the country. First time, the massive organized corruption na nakikita natin sa ating bansa.
This is what I've been saying. We are witnessing corruption in real time. And let's be honest, Zaldico is just the fall guy. Lahat ng sisi tinatapon sa kanya. Because think about it. Hindi gagalaw ang isang tao kung walang higher authority na nag-a-approve. So again, make it make sense. By the way, speaking of make it make sense, check out our merch shop below. We have the Make It Make Sense collection. And yes, we offer international shipping. Kahit nasan ka sa mundo, wherever you are in the world, if you love my merch, you can get it. All right, so let's get back to the video.
Now, you've talked about, actually, you've enumerated 3 clear points, right? 3 clear points on what the heart of the affidavit is. So then you may have some observers questioning the credibility of, number one, the witnesses and the motive of the witnesses themselves, because all 3 purposes or exposés benefit the Vice President, right? Parang it benefits Vice President Sara Duterte, number 1. Luis Tro cannot be trusted because nabayaran din siya, hence, eto pa may impeachment. Pangalawa, si Duterte nasa ICC, nabayaran allegedly si Trillanes, di ba? Tapos colored yun. So very pro-Duterte ang ano doon. Then biglang pangatlo, biglang nag-anti Speaker Martin Romualdez, anti President Marcos Jr. So you do have sectors This is why some have questioned why aren't many mainstream organizations or news outlets carrying it? Because you do have some that feel it was engineered. It was engineered by a certain camp. Probably, let's say, some feel it's the camp of the Vice President. I'm not saying it is, Micah, but yun ang pananaw ngayon because you've enumerated three and they're all politically inclined. It is not targeted to one. Di ba? Ang
Yeah.
tanong na, paano napasok si Trillanes doon? Paano napasok ito doon? Ano ba yun? Ano ba ang talagang expose nila?
Alam mo, Karen, hindi ako magtataka na yun ang sasabihin ng mga sundalo. Because in the first place, yung organization ni President Bongbong Marcos, in terms of the resources, was handled by Saldico and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Sila yung main resource, pinanggagalingan ng pondo ng mga operation nila. Ano pang ginawa nilang operation? Di ba ang unang lang ginawang operation was the impeachment of Sara Duterte. So therefore, namimigay sila ng pera sa mga kaalyado nila. The second was to arrest President Rodrigo Duterte and bring him to The Hague. May ICC investigation. And yun din yung nakita ng mga sundalo. Yun din ang binibigyan na ng pera. You ask Saldico now, I spoken to Saldico. Sasabihin naman niya sa iyo eh.
At this point, honestly, wala na akong pakialam kung kaninong administrasyon pa to nangyari. I don't care. They are all the same. Pare-parehas lang po silang corrupt. And all we want is justice. Start the investigation. Stop the blame game. That's all what Filipinos want. Kasi hanggat ang mga nasa pwesto po ay magnanakaw, we will never, ever get the justice that we deserve. So, that's it for today, guys. Abangan nyo ang part 2 ng commentary natin on this interview of Mike Defensor. And by the way, if you want exclusive content, early access, and special perks, join our channel membership. Follow me on my social media, links below. And also don't forget to check out our Make It Make Sense collection. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, see you in my next one. Goodbye.